Web3 has the possibility to expand our mind and expand our tent pegs to what is possible.
Communities like this is that we come together to create the solutions that we want in the world.
The community needs your story, so come join us.
Technology is a tool to impact and bring God's kingdom here on earth.
Right? Play to earn, that's where the game changer comes in.
Well, Web3 is all about asset.
What you have to say is what's needed to be said in Hollywood.
People are looking for the miraculous.
Part of taking back some of that ground.
You are bringing the light into such a dark, dark place.
Very focused on, impacting people.
And just getting started. Participate.
Our partnership it's helping to cut that code of poverty.
Mentorship, entrepreneurship, and faith. These are your pillars to success.
We have given a solution that we have brought this people from Sony, Disney, and Marvel to solve. Will you be a part of this?
I want it out of my head the moment Electria fell. I cannot remember anything else. The light burning low, surrounded by ghosts. These patterns are painted on the walls of the halls with only the cold of dreams decomposed. We were supposed to be bold, kingdom warriors who fight for what's right. Did we lose the light? No, we never let go. We never lost hope. Now we must rebuild even though the road is so broken and cold. Warriors back to your post. It's not about us, it's about the unborn. The originators are voice. The weavers and bringers who have yet to come on board. We maintain the tales of before when virtue was true. When we protected them vintage youth, it's easy to choose. We had nothing to lose. The blues are bruises providing the proof. We still walk in tall in these rooms. While the pathways improve, so let the walls of ruin be removed. So we make way for this horizon, a new dawn, and we're building to repair for the respawn. Retaliate against fate by rebuilding the gates. We will have a city again. We will reach a home and a place, regardless of hate, regardless of the shackles they place. So here we are with armor on, submitted to fate, bound low until we saw the soldiers of our last brigade, holding on to the vision of the King's Court, made plain, written down on tape with the revelation of the end game. Call the messengers, no delay. We write the future of Electria. Warriors, this is the way. We write the future warriors. This is the way. Kingdom warriors, yeah, with wisdom and honor. Yeah, we be honored. Honor with the promises of our ancestors, telling us if we go towards it, we'll find it. If we remake the bridges to the towers, we'll reconnect the light and the power, and we'll break whatever blocks the new day by roaring louder. Yeah, we're on it. Yeah, we go onward. Kingdom warriors, Electria, we're promised that we gon' have a home again, and yeah, we know that we on it. Electria waiting for its warriors to return. Here we are, let the ever light burn, light burn, light burn, light burn. Electria waiting for its warriors to return. Here we are, let the ever light burn, light burn, light burn. Electria waiting for its warriors to return. Here we are, let the ever light burn, let the ever light burn. Electria waiting for its warriors to return. Here we are, let the ever light burn, the light burn. Let the ever light burn.
What is going on? What is up, Warriors? Man, we finally made it. We're having some technical difficulties, but by the glory of God, we are here today. Let's sound off. I want to hear all these amazing Warriors today. Let me hear where you're tuning in from. It's Eric Skeldon, founder of Kingdom Warriors NFT. Is tuning in from the Nashville, Tennessee area. Shout out to Tennessee. We've been in Texas to Tennessee to Minnesota. And man, all over America, all over the world, you guys are bringing big, big energy, as Emmeline said from California. What's up? We got some amazing people backstage here that have been waiting, and I'm excited for some amazing stuff we're going to bring to you guys today. So let's hear all of your teams, tag your team. Shout out to everyone that has been showing up. Half the battle in life is showing up to the fight. If you show up to the fight and you start getting instructions and orders, you're gonna find some synergy. You're gonna find out things you can do in life when you show up to the event, when you show up to the room, when you show up to a meeting, and man, things happen when you're in the room. It's time to warrior up. What's up, teams? Let me give a quick shout out to the teams and update you guys. And Shanae, Shanae reminded me from South Africa, we forgot to give the live giveaway yesterday. So if you liked the video yesterday, we're going to be doing our raffle for the $222 NFT based on the people who liked that video. So you guys tag your teams, heart this video. You guys remember, I think Brian Simmons, I talked to him yesterday. I think he just promoted because we just had like 200 people just come on or request to come in the group. And so shout out to Dr. Brian Simmons, shout out to Dr. Joseph Peck, and Power 2000 community, the Passion Translation community that's going to be seeing this, all the Kingdom Warrior community. You guys are all amazing. Shout out to even Andrew Whalen's community, Vanquish, Prophetic Warriors. Man, there's just a lot of amazing synergy happening. We just got to meet with, I just got to meet with Sean Bowles yesterday. I was trying to bring him into the VIP, which he actually agreed to come in the VIP, but he can only do 2:00 Central. And so, so anyways, you can thank Benji for not having Sean Bowles on the VIP yesterday, because Benji had to do 11 a.m. Central. So the VIP ended up being at noon. So you guys, but after talking to Sean, amazing energy, super thrilled for what's happening. He's been pioneering over the past actually 2 decades for Hollywood. He lives in LA for the arts entertainment industry, friends with amazing people in the industry, and the things he was just sharing and getting excited about what's happening. Just amazing stuff happening in the realm of arts entertainment and what God is going to do with believers. If you guys know, believers, there's about, over 2 billion believers, and they command a lot of market capital. They command a lot of viewership. And what Sean was even sharing was believers actually, they're actually one of the biggest buyers of, television, radio, and film. Like they're the ones who influence the film industry. And he's saying basically he has people that are in with Amazon, in with Netflix and stuff. And they're basically saying, hey, Netflix and Amazon are really betting big on faith, the category of faith. They've seen what is happening in this realm. And they're like, look, this is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And if you're a big company, you want to be a part of that multi-billion-dollar industry. And they're putting, Sean is connected to the people who are bringing on the faith-based funds to even produce that stuff. So God is just doing some amazing stuff with just the resources and the people that he's bringing throughout. So man, just wanted to encourage you guys with that, because I didn't get to interview him live for you guys on VIP, which would have been an amazing special treat. But he's going to come back, and he also wants us on to tell our story on his Marketplace podcast, which is one of the #1 business podcasts for the prophetic and entering the marketplace. So that's going to be a cool story. And man, God is just doing some amazing stuff. So I just want to start off praying for you guys, for this community. Lord, we just thank you for this community. Thank you for what you're doing. We thank you for everything from the film to the music department to our events, to these experiences, the fact that we get to do these events, we get to do these experiences, we get to do life together, even if it's online, even if it's when we get to meet in person in Minnesota or the Mastermind in Texas. We thank you that you give us the tools and technology and wisdom to meet, to empower, to greet each other, to be able to fellowship and bring creativity to all realms you have. And the kingdom is ever expanding. It's ever growing. So let me see if I can, or I'm going to pull up our guests today, and we're just going to give some shout outs to the teams. And then we got Andrew Whalen, who has a word for us today. And then we'll kind of get into some of the panel. So here we go. You guys give a warm welcome. We got Carrie Jones in the building, Andrew Whalen, we got Amit Torpor, we got Dan, we got Dr. Mark, we got Peter. Man, welcome everyone. And you guys show some love in the comments for our amazing lineup. So you guys drop your guys' team names over there. So I would love for each of you guys to quickly just share who you are and just a shout out to the audience if you guys can. Carrie, you want to
start doing a shout out?
Yeah, just who you are, where you're tuning in from, and just
okay.
And you're actually holding
wonderful.
down one of
I'm sorry. What was that?
You're actually holding it down as a captain of the team, so maybe shout out your team as well.
Yes. Team 3, I'll start with that. The Invincibles, you guys have been rocking this, leveling up, and watching you guys come together and work hard and unify has been absolutely amazing. I love you guys. I'm Carrie Jones, captain of the Invincibles, and I'm originally from British Columbia. I am Canadian. My husband's a travel nurse, so we live in an RV and we travel. So that's what we do. So where am I tuning in from right now is Virginia. We're in Virginia for 3 months. He has a 3-month contract here.
Come on, that's awesome. Andrew, go ahead.
What was the question again?
I was gonna just have you guys give a quick intro, but it's just give a quick intro and say what's up.
Okay, what's up, guys? Man, always excited to be with you all. Kingdom Warriors. I'm tuning in from the Dallas, Texas region, and I'm just excited, man. I feel like I got a word today, hot off the press. Had a dream last night, so we'll see what happens. So glad to be here.
Yeah, you guys. Andrew's gonna bring some fire here in a minute, and then Hamid, how much time do you have, Hamid? I wanted to see what we can get you going as well.
At 1:30, so you got me for 12 minutes.
Got it. Okay, so maybe we'll have Hamid go and then Andrew. So yeah, we'll just let Hamid roll because I think Hamid has a hard stop. Then we'll have Andrew kind of go into the prophetic, and then I'll the teams at the end. I'll kind of update you guys on the teams and where you guys are at. But you guys are going live. I was going yesterday, just listening to your guys' stories and what you guys are doing. Keep going live. Keep encouraging each other. It's been amazing seeing you guys be bold and starting to use your voice. So Hamid, you guys just wrapped up. Dr. Mark, you guys just wrapped up 3 weeks of shooting at your house, in Minnesota. I mean, from, horses, bringing 12 horses out, building, we were cutting down trees, building massive sets, like with a small budget. Tell us about the energy. We have these teams even working right now. It was really cool to see in person the teams working, your guys' cast and crew that you guys brought, just amazing teams. And just the synergy, like by the time we got there, you guys were already like had this like such a synergy of the team. Like everyone's like boom, 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 boom. And obviously I talked to, your team. They're like, yeah, we've done 4 films before. So your guys, the people you guys work with, you guys have already done, productions together. So they're like already pretty fluid, but you guys were just such amazing teamwork. Can you share with everyone? Everyone is super excited about what's happening with the Legends of Eladria, the film series. I know we can't talk about too much, so share with what you can for the next 5-10 minutes, you and Dr. Mark, if you can.
Well, it was quite the experience. Never had so many obstacles.
It's breaking up, Hamid, for some reason.
Can you hear me better now? Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
All right, cool. I've never had so many obstacles in one shoot that didn't sink the ship. From COVID hitting the day 1 on the prep days to bed bugs in the hotels. We had to flip hotels. We had an issue with our AD. We had O1 work visas issues. It rained every other 5 seconds. Mark, what else did we have to deal with that was like random?
Oh, I think pretty much everything. We even had challenges sometimes with getting the meals to set because we were remote one day, and then that was a big challenge, and we got that taken care of course. But
yeah,
and the horses were. I say,
the horses were a pain in the neck. They were crazy. Mosquitoes, they loved us a lot. I think we were, very generous to the mosquitoes. So, but it was really interesting to go through every challenge. It was a new challenge every day. But in the end, like everyone was so happy. And I think we turned out probably the best project that we've ever made to date, which I think is pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's the most amazing thing I've ever seen. I'm still stunned that we did it on the budget we had.
In my backyard.
Yeah, he told me he's going to shoot this in his backyard, and I've been to his house, and I was like, okay, but I never went to the park behind his house. And, oh my gosh, was it magical? And he was able to get just an amazing cast. We had a fantastic stunt coordinator. The fight scenes, we had what was it, level 10 gymnast?
Yep. Mia was a level 10 lead gymnast. I mean, she was amazing. Our fight coordinator was a Marvel guy, She-Hulk and Black. He was actually on Black Adam, which is DC, obviously, but an amazing fight coordinator.
Yeah, he was in Marvel Marvel Endgame, and he was in Marvel the Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He's in She-Hulk. He was in Punisher. He was in Walking Dead a ton of times. So I mean, if there's a guy from Atlanta shoot and he was killed on screen, it's probably Jordan.
Yeah, he gets asked to die more than he was the person who died mostly for us.
Yeah, he died 3 different times from 3 different characters in this movie in our show. So yeah, it's awesome.
So the overall story, people in our lore, they've seen the guilds, they've seen, some of the concept art, which is obviously more animated, more 2D, and then our NFTs are 2D. Talk about, how even with this world, or even how building out this film series, and if it gets, if we can get it picked up by a major streaming platform, how do you think that's going to be able to impact even the NFTs, the overall brand, as we just get more traction with the film series?
Let me before Hamid goes, let me correct you. You mean when it gets picked up, Eric?
Yeah, when it gets picked up.
Go ahead, Hamid.
I think that if it can get picked up, when it gets picked up by somebody, which I think it will, I believe it will. I think that it's just going to blow everything up. I mean, right now you have cool artwork, you have some cool things, but look at Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai season 5 just came out, right? Karate Kid hasn't been relevant in 30 years, right? Cobra Kai comes out on YouTube, does nothing, goes nowhere. Hits Netflix, it's one of their top shows of all time, and they're selling millions and millions and millions of dollars of merchandise. You know what I'm saying? Like, the value of Cobra Kai stock went through the roof. And I think that with this show, because it's fantasy, and fantasy is big right now. So you have Amazon with Wheel of Time and Rings of Power. Disney is doing the new Willow. It's 8 episodes, Pieces of Willow, which is an old school fantasy show. Fantasy is really, really big right now. And people who love Lord of the Rings, hate Lord of the Rings, love Willow, hate Willow, but they still love fantasy, right? So if you can fall into that category, it's a great time to be doing it. At least for the next 5 years, because Lord of the Rings is guaranteed for 5 more years. So we'll have 5 years of fantasy for sure. That we can ride the tales of, something like Lord of the Rings. And we haven't announced the cast yet, but we do have someone from Lord of the Rings in our show, which is amazing. So now we're tied to Lord of the Rings, which only gives us more power. So, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you guys heard it here first. It's going to be big, you guys. And there's something prophetic with, we were doing this. We've been dreaming for a year, building this fantasy world that's going to be telling stories of identity. It all points back to identity, who we are, who we are inside, the greatness inside. Overcoming our limiting beliefs, overcoming obstacles, from the story that we've started with the Lord to Hamid and their amazing creative team have started this Paul to Saul story. And we were dreaming of how do we build some romance in there? How do we build some just these character, such a good character developments and really let people really feel themselves in the characters. Hamid, talk about the story a little bit, how people are going to be able to relate to these characters of the things of, whether they went to darkness and they had to come back to the light.
I think the biggest thing is that, we're taught we need to have these things, right? We need to have, in this case, it's in Quada or this or that, the other thing to find who we are. The truth is that when Christ died for us, he aligned us to God. He aligned us back to, he reconciled us back to God, right? To our original design. And I think that hopefully the show at the end, you realize you don't need anything else but the gift that you've already been given, right? If you realize you've been given this gift already, that's all you need to reconcile. And when you've been reconciled, you're made whole. And when you're made whole, you can activate and live as you're called to live. And so hopefully people will realize that you don't need anything else other than the gift of God He's already given you in His Son dying to be what you're supposed to be and where you're supposed to go. And so I think that doesn't matter what you've done, where you've been, who you are. You can be the most evil of evil, right? You could be Saul, the chief amongst all sinners, or in our case, Mari, who is the head huntress who kills all the prophets in the land, right? It's never too late to come back and, align to your true calling and destiny and your purpose.
What do you think, Dr. Mark, as far as story and just the even on the quantum level of what is the impact of these stories and of storytelling and and the sounds, the frequency, the being able to visualize ourselves in an epic story? What kind of impact do you think we can see with some of this?
Well, I think one of the it's hard to even know where to start, because when you were there, Eric, but when you actually see the sets were great and the costuming was unbelievable. The wardrobe was amazing, and then we were able to set up in a woods area that was away from other people, and we were able to bring in the fog and the mist, and it literally looks like that time period, right? So I think one of the things that happens is, and I know Dr. Darlene talks about this all the time, the mirror neuron setup, right? So you're literally putting a story in front of people that they're already attracted to, which is the fantasy realm. And then on top of that, you give them a story of turning away from darkness to light. There are things inside of us called our mirror neurons that are going to emulate that, just like they do, unfortunately, the less positive messages coming out of a lot of the movies coming out of Hollywood. And so I think we have this amazing opportunity, and this is only a 4-part series so far, but this amazing opportunity to show transformation, and it will instill the drive, I think, that's naturally in people for things to turn out better, for the world to be left better. And I think another thing that really happened here is, because this story is like set at a time, I would say, previous to the original lore, it has opened up an amazing amount of opportunity for additional stories that don't conflict with the lore, and yet gives, I believe, Kingdom Warriors an opportunity, if they want it, to really be world changers. Put it simple.
Yep. I agree with that, Mark. I think going back in time was the right move, because it opens up the doors for so many more things you can do versus like being held the Luke Skywalker star only,
Yeah, each one of these characters could have their own story. Yeah. There could be stories that even are completely removed from this one, but come together later. I mean, you've seen this over and over again in all the great franchises out there. And I think that this has an opportunity to be one of those great franchises, because it's an untold story. There's very few realistic. I mean, one of the benefits is also a challenge to an indie film, and Hamid can speak to this probably better than anyone, but having to shoot in what we call the practical. If you don't have a big budget for changing things later in post, you have to make it look, excuse me, you have to make it look very real right now. What an amazing job that was done. That's why I talk about the stunts and the flips and people jumping off of trees, and it all looked real. And it was
real. It was real.
Yeah, that's my point.
Some of those people were falling hard. Some of the other stunt people you brought in, they were like that were getting beat up. They were throwing them over, and they had to keep landing on their back. I'm like, dude, these dudes are champions. Like,
yeah,
these are real warriors.
They're awesome.
Yeah, this one scene I was worried about our main guy, and because he has to fall, right, and I'm supposed to stab him, and he goes, "It's okay, I do this for a living."
It was really cool. So I mean, Hamid has to go soon, but you guys, as a community, and even to some of our big investors that were part of it, we just want to thank you guys. And like, this is literally only the beginning, and basically, just the fact that we're even able to go and bring impact to Minnesota, and even like 20 to 30 people, bring economy to 20, 30 people. Some of them were saying like, I get paid to do what I love, and they got to be there and do what they love, acting or stunt or fight coordinator. And they're like, this is my dream. I get paid to do what I love. And it just made me think, as like, when we have wealth, when we're able to employ people to do what they love, how amazing is that? And the fact that you guys got to be a part of that, I just want to thank everyone that supported over the past, I mean, the Kingdom Warriors in general, to get us to this point. Hamid, you've shared that you do believe this is going to be big, and that that we're going to even be able to do a feature film script and get a multi-million-dollar budget with that. Can you speak to that before you go? And what?
I'm sold on the world. I think the world is so special. And I think that these characters are so special. And I think that doing the series the way we did it was the right way to go. And I think that for a first step, we're winning. I think that the next thing will be movies and bigger series that will only be better, which is incredible. Anyone who's part of Kingdom Warriors should be so excited and thrilled that what this is. I'm still tired from the 15-day shoot, but so I'm not as excited as I was 3 weeks ago, or not as flamboyant as I was 3 weeks ago. But it's and after having seen what we saw and watched what's in the can, it's special. Alexa, who was our lead actress, is literally incredible. Joey, who was our lead male, was just incredible. Jordan, every single person we brought on was so unique, and it's very Lord of the Rings-esque. And for what we did with what we had, the people around here can attest to, like, wow, it's crazy that we did what we did. And so, anyone who's part of Kingdom Warriors ahead of time should be thrilled, because it's just the beginning. And the value, I obviously I can't say 100% sure because that's not my department, but I feel like the value of what you guys have so far is only going to escalate.
Whoops.
Okay, awesome. I know I'm having some technical issues, but you guys give it up for Hamid. Hamid, thank you so much. People are saying thank you for partnering with us. Thank you for you being a part of this Winter State. Just amazing updates. And we do got over the next few weeks, we're going to be having different press releases with CAP to partnerships to just all the big stuff. So just be on the lookout for that.
And honestly, the thanks should go to Mark. Without Mark, I wouldn't be here. So, make sure you guys get Mark a good steak dinner, because
Mark was the quantum leap. Mark helped us do the quantum leap to be like, hey, what about this? And then it just like an idea, you guys, sometimes a question or posing an idea to someone you're quantumly connected to can just transform everything. Like, imagine if I would have never asked Andrew. I pitched this idea to 3 people a year ago, and Andrew was like, okay, let's put in 50,000. I'll bet 50,000 on it and help you, kind of get it off the ground. And, but without that 50,000, if I was just trying to earn enough, if I kept trying to be in it where I just earned 4,000 to 5,000 a month and only paid my bills, how am I going to reinvest? That was the problem with entrepreneurs. You have $4,000 to $5,000 and your bills are, $3,000 to $4,000. So then you can't ever feed the baby, feed the idea. So one person who says, hey, I will bet on your dream so you can feed that idea and not have to worry about your basic income, then you can actually feed the dream.
Yep.
I want to come back to something that you said there for a minute, Eric. One of the things that made me know that this was really something God was doing was the speed at which it's moving. I have a limited, I've only been around the industry for about 6 years or so, but I've never seen anything move like this. And I saw one move pretty fast, nothing like this. And the other thing is, I've never seen anything come together after moving so quickly. And this literally to me looked almost like $1 million production. Easy.
Yeah. I agree with that. I literally was sitting on set. I was like, this did not exist 2 months ago. And it was crazy to me that we had 60, 70 people all in on set when these characters did not exist 2 months ago, which is crazy to me. and we're delivering these characters and these fights and these dialogue sequences and these sets that like this world is only, this Eladria was there for less than a year, but these characters are less than 2 months. And it's like, how in the world and like, I still look back and I see the posters in my living room. I'm like, did that really happen? Like, where did this come? I mean, the movie I'm doing right now, I wrote 10 years ago, and it's like, I wrote it literally 10 years ago, and we're just now getting to the point of making it. Like, how is it possible that it took me 10 years and we still have to make it? So it took 10 years to get to this point. We won't shoot it till next year. It'll be another year and a half before it comes out. So it'll be 12 years. And the guy's idea who had it before is 20 years old. So that's this idea we're doing is 30 years old. And it's like, how is that possible? 30 years? Nuts. This took less than a year from when you thought of it. Took 2 months from when I got a hold of it, and now it'll be done. Now it's all shot in the can, which is crazy.
Wow, come on! Someone said all in God's timing, Holy Ghost goosebumps.
So I want to say one more thing about that too, because that ties right into that quantum thing you were saying, Eric. Kingdom Warriors can choose to slow down anytime they want, right? I mean, this is an amazing accomplishment. You could sit back and say, hey, we did it. Or you could say, wow, if we did this with almost nothing, what could we do with something? What could actually happen now that we actually have this is way beyond a proof of concept. This is the real deal. This is an actual series that I think I'll be very surprised if it doesn't end up in a place like Netflix. And so, I mean, literally Kingdom Warriors is at a place if they want. I mean, people have to choose it, right? I mean, everybody gets to make a choice. But if people choose to take that step forward right now, literally, it's almost like God is saying, will somebody please do this?
Yeah.
Come on, I would love to have Peter. Peter, would love to hear your take. Peter's our IP attorney, also just doing amazing stuff on protecting people's ideas and really allowing us to be like, hey, you guys, we like coming on. Peter was actually our first 5-star general. Dr. Mark was our first 1-star general. So it's cool to hear, like, we ended up partnering with Peter as our IP and like our IP and trademark attorneys. And then even Dr. Mark, we ended up partnering with him in films. That's like basically partnering with your holders, partnering with your, people to say, hey, these are the people who are betting on us. Okay, we're betting back on you to take us to the long haul, Peter. So what do you think about the future of everything you're seeing?
Yeah, no, I like God has a rhythm, and what I look for is I look to see where's the fruit in specific things. So you see people planting seeds and then you see fruit out of it. And so that's kind of the area that I look in. Like, I'm always looking for opportunities of where can I plant seed? Where can I plant seed? Like, I'm always looking at that because there are unique opportunities in the real world, unique opportunities in the spiritual realm. And even like now, when you see the normal market, like the financial market down, you see stocks low, you see crypto stuff low. It's a ridiculous opportunity for people. Like, this is where millionaires and billionaires are made, like in these seasons. Not when everybody's doing incredibly well. It's when everything's going down. That's when the people invest in the right places. And then when things pick up, they're growing at 20, 30, 40, 300, 400%. And so I always look for opportunities to invest. And that's one of the things that I did when I was looking at the NFT market in general, but then the story behind it, right? Taking an area of quote unquote fantasy, because most people are attracted to the supernatural. I mean, we're wonderfully and fearfully made in God's image, and God is supernatural. And so we are, by our very nature, attracted to the supernatural. But the problem is that the enemy has done a way better job than most Christians in bringing in supernatural to the world. And so people that are naturally inclined to move into the supernatural are being attracted by the enemy because Christians are not stepping out and bringing the supernatural, which is actually the norm for Christians. They're not bringing it out to the world. Well, here's a situation where you have the opportunity to bring the supernatural into the real world, which is our normal state as Christians. So there's an attraction to it. For some reason, people are attracted to it. They don't really quite understand it, But then I saw the NFT side of it. Then on top of it, the opportunity to be who we truly are as Christians, moving in signs and wonders, transforming the world around us, making it so that the first heaven is becoming more like the third heaven, so it'll be on earth as it is in heaven. Like literally bringing that here now. Well, here's a platform that where you can actually do that freely. Do you guys realize that practically every single time that Eric goes live and talks about God, I don't know if you guys have actually noticed that. Like if you watch how he speaks, like I look for certain things in people, and he's not bashful. He's not bashful about his belief in the Lord. He's constantly talking about what God is doing. And that to me, it speaks volumes. So when you look at why I came into this, that was part of it, was really, I saw the seed planting opportunity. I saw the opportunity to literally speak who I already am. Like I'm actually a pastor as well. Most people don't know that. I'm a pastor and I'm a lawyer. There's a kind of seems like water and oil right there, but it doesn't have to be. I'm changing that industry too. But the whole point of this being that you can actually be who you truly are in this environment. So speaking a little bit about the intellectual property side, though, my passion is IP, protecting of ideas. I've been doing this for 25 years, right? Background's electrical engineering. I represent like MIT, Harvard, Constant Contact, clients around the world, small, medium, large clients. Absolutely love what I do. But here's the thing, I think something that we forget, and something that I think that Kingdom Warriors is doing well, which is when you get an idea from God, you have to think about this. There's a throne, you have these ideas. Like I've heard people literally talk about there being rooms in the third heaven with ideas where they're released to travel from the third heaven through the second heaven to the first heaven, where you, as an ambassador of the kingdom of heaven, as an ambassador of God, a blood-bought child of the Most High God, a soldier of God, right? You receive the idea. Now, that doesn't mean you just kind of sit on it and just go, oh, wow, that's a great idea. Glad I thought of it. Yeah, no, you didn't. But the point being that now you've received it. Well, as a good steward of what God has released, you need to know whether or not you need to protect that or not. And so yesterday, I'm actually running a challenge now, and somebody said yesterday, they said, what's the big deal about AP? Why is it important as a Christian? Like, why is this really important? So I explained it this way. You're an ambassador of the kingdom of heaven. You receive an idea. The enemy's first assignment is to what? Steal. Steal, kill, destroy. First thing he does is steal. He doesn't create Jack or Jill, right? God created Adam and Eve, right? The enemy didn't create Jack or Jill, all right? Doesn't create anything. He makes counterfeits, all right? And so what happens is the enemy tries to steal what you've received. Either number one, he wants you to be quiet about it and never release it in the first heaven, so what God wants to manifest never happens, or he wants to counterfeit it. If somebody else steals it, makes a replica of what you've actually received from God, that's a diluted version of it, that is a corrupt version of it, and then they create that thing so that the public is confused as to the actual source of the goods or the service, right? That's what the enemy will do. He tries to counterfeit and confuse, right? We, as the good stewards of what God has released to us, we need to understand, first of all, the incredible honor in that God chose you to release an idea. God chose an idea to release to Eric, right? Other people have come behind that. But if God has chosen you for an idea, you need to be a good steward of that. You have to realize, number one, what an incredible honor. Oh my gosh, the God who speaks things into existence chose to release something to me. Are you kidding me? Like, that in and of itself should be huge. Now, to be a good steward of it, we want to determine whether or not we need to protect it. Why? Because we want to prevent the enemy from creating counterfeits, from misleading the public, and make it so that the authenticity of what God has released in the first heaven is not received. We want to stop that from happening. We want to make sure that the authenticity is maintained. The way to do that, one of the ways to do that is through intellectual property. So in this area, when you're talking about things like trademarks, you're talking about NFTs, you're talking about copyrights for NFTs. When you're talking about logos, there's a trademarks in that area. There's all sorts of areas of intellectual property law that are important and paramount to protecting what God has released. That's where I come in. I look at what is being created here, make sure we're not like copying the stuff of other people and getting into trouble, or making sure that other people are respecting what's being created here, because we want to maintain the authenticity so that what God is truly trying to release is properly released, and other counterfeits can't happen to mislead the public. You want the real deal. You drink the Coca-Cola. Don't drink the Pepsi when you're trying to get Coca-Cola. Got it? I'm not saying Pepsi's bad. We all like Pepsi. Pepsi sponsors lots of great things in movies, so that's not what we're saying. What we are saying is that they're not the same. We love Pepsi for Pepsi. We love Coca-Cola for Coca-Cola. We don't go after Pepsi for the taste of Coca-Cola. It doesn't make sense, right? And we don't go after Coca-Cola for the taste of Pepsi. They're two different things. There's only one Kingdom Warriors. That's what's happening here. If you're on board with it, that's awesome. Hopefully you see the fruit of that. But you want to make sure that you're getting the real deal.
So good. You guys, thank you, Peter. Give it up for Peter. Put some fire, put some hearts in the comments. You guys, we're going to have Peter on more. And, Peter does an amazing challenge that you guys checked it out. protectyouridea.challenge.com. So if you guys ever need IP or have an idea you want to protect, go to protectyouridea.challenge.com and you can
right. So protectyouridea.challenge.com. And with that, I got to bounce out, but I'll catch up with you guys later. Okay.
Awesome. Peter always brings the fire, you guys. Andrew has a word for you guys, and then you guys, it's gonna be amazing. But God is doing something with acceleration. He's given us an invitation to be great. He's given us an invitation to come together. And so Andrew, just if you can hit it off. And I know we're gonna go today for probably about till probably about 2:30. So you guys get an extra 30 minutes on the main stage. Get your VIP link if you want to come backstage. We do have Dr. Joseph Peck tomorrow, Dr. Brian Simmons Friday. Put some fire emojis in the comments if you guys have been getting lit up with your dreams. God cares about your dreams. He cares about your time, your talent, and being a part of Kingdom Warriors, we've seen whole dreams, whole businesses come to life. Carrie even has a story of, her voice and her, dreams even starting to come to life. We've had artists who have now making thousands of dollars as an artist who were scared to, promote themselves, scared to speak about their art, but we gave them the wisdom and stuff within our ecosystem. So these are all things we don't just want people to be a part of Kingdom Warriors. We want people to be a kingdom that is going and advancing the kingdom everywhere on earth. And you're just connected to us, and there's benefits and upside from that. But ultimately, God has something for all of us to do, whether it's just advancing the kingdom or shining light, whether you're selling coffee or selling juice shakes, or you have a carne asada taco shop. I need more carne asada all over. So you guys make some carne asada. Andrew, Whalen, bring us the steak. Let's go.
Hey, man. Thank you so much. I love Kingdom Warriors. I love what you're doing. It is supernatural. You can't do this without God. And I believe God that's part of what I've been saying, is that we're in a season of crossover. And if you know anything about the biblical crossover from the wilderness to the promised land, it's the fact that God went with them. So they would have stood no chance to go into the new land, a land that they'd never, they hadn't been this way before. They would have not survived, nor thrived, nor conquered if God wasn't with them. And so I believe that there are just signs and wonders taking place, because this is who our God is. He's a God of wonder. He's wonderful. And when he shows up, wonders break out. And I believe that this is capturing the attention of not just the Christian kingdom community, but I believe that the secular Hollywood entertainment realms are starting to take notice. And a land of Eladia. Yes, come on. That's where we're headed. And but the entertainment realm is starting to take notice and wondering, who is this? What's going on? And I tell you, God's in it. Then guess what? He's after bringing glory to his name, and he is going to start to release his kingdom through this work. more and more. It's going to change lives. This isn't just about making some money, though there's money that's going to start to flow in. The gold and the silver is mine, says the Lord. God is going to begin to shift wealth into the hands of his people. He's going to do it through initiatives and projects like this. And so anyway, let me just back up and say, I've been saying this for a while, and I'm probably going to continue to say it for a long time, because the Lord told me we are in a era of crossover. So we are in it's a whole new era. And just like it was when Israel crossed over from the wilderness to their promised land, it was new territory. And the Lord said, let the Ark of the Covenant go first, because you don't know where you're going. You've never been this way before. And in the same manner, God is going first. He is leading the way. He is showing us a way. Because guess what? You cannot bring your wilderness ways and mentalities, your old wineskin confinements into the new era and the new land of promise. Why? It won't work. God's raising up foolish things. I mean, who would have thought an NFT gaming platform? I believe God could say, hey, this is going to be the spearhead of my kingdom breaking through and the walls of Jericho beginning to fall. Watch out what happens. I mean, just this is amazing. You know, I believe there's a lot of religious people who are saying, you know, what in the world? That's not, you know, that's not God. That can't be God. God isn't into the making movies or what. Yes, he is. He's doing a new thing right now, and he is raising up unique, intelligent weapons that in his hand become the death blow to darkness in this present hour. And so let me just say this too. Early on, biblically, when Moses said, hey, it's time to go across into the promised land, into Canaan, and possess the promise of God. And guess what he did? He sent out 12 spies. And you know the story, or maybe some of you don't know, but 10 spies came back with a really bad report and said, hey, we cannot do this. We are grasshoppers in our own sight, and surely we're grasshoppers in their sight. And they had lost sight of how big their God was. And only two, Joshua and Caleb, held to the size of their God. They were the only ones that saw the enormity of their God. Why? Because they connected their what did they do? They connected their deliverance from Egypt to the God that was bringing them across into a new land. And so 10 spies came with a bad report. And guess what happened as a result to that? God cursed that generation. He said, you are cursed and you will die in this land. Bummer. And so guess what? 40 years goes by, and all of a sudden, guess what happens? God brings his people full circle. And all throughout Scripture, both the Old and the New, we remember this place, which is known as the Great Rebellion. The Great Rebellion is when God's people refused to go over and possess their promises because they stopped looking at God, his word, his ability. They left faith and chose unbelief. And so what God did was he said, I'm going to leave you here for a while to feel experience what it feels like to wander in wilderness. And maybe you'll get just tired enough of living off the manna of wilderness, and you get possessed with faith in who I am and the covenant I have given you to go in and take what is yours. And so God brings us full circle. And he says, are you ready now? Have you gotten tired of living in the wilderness just close enough to the promises, but not yet obtaining them? And I think God is bringing us to a full circle moment. I'm going to tell you this by the word of the Lord. We are coming into a full circle season of time where God is bringing us back into places that at one time there was great fire, great revival, great promise, but we might have missed it in one season, and we're coming back fully around, and God is saying, now are you ready? Because because God is ready and he's showing himself strong on our behalf. But here's what happened last night. I want to say this. I had a dream last night, hot off the press. And I saw a man in the dream. And in this dream, the man, I understood that he was a man holding great wealth. And I wondered, where did all this wealth come from? And I wondered why. Now, let me say this. I knew that this was a kingdom godly man. He was not a man driven of, sinful greed. He was not a greedy, motivated man. I knew by revelation that this man he was like a container for the wealth of the kingdoms of the earth. He was getting wealth from all over the places. And I said to him, how did this happen to you? And here's what he told me. He said, I made this book. He said, I wrote this book and I gave it this title. This became the marching orders of my life. And the title of the book said this: whatever it takes, whatever it takes. Come on, someone needs to hear that and prophesy this right now. Whatever it takes. Here's what I knew in the dream. I had a sudden revelation that this man, by the way, when he said that, he said this. He didn't just stop and say, whatever it takes. He said, whatever it takes to walk in the power of God. Whatever it takes to walk in the power of God. That's what I knew. Here's what I believe God is saying. He's saying, my power is coming to show itself strong on the behalf of my people for those who are willing to do whatever it takes. Are you at the place where you're saying, we are not of those any longer who shrink back unto perdition or unto destruction? We are those who believe even to the saving of our very souls. And we are going to lay hold of all of that for which Christ has laid hold of us. We are going to go forward and do whatever it takes to attract and draw the power of the Holy Spirit on our lives, on our projects, on our businesses, on our families, on our ministries. And see, I believe that we're coming in a time where God is saying, I'm not going to endorse just anybody. I'm going to endorse those who are willing to walk in step with my spirit in the ways of God and following my son with the cross on their back. And so we are coming into a time where God is about to show up in great power, but he's also giving us a conditional invitation saying, are you willing to do whatever it takes to go forward and let my power endorse your life, your message, your ministry, your business, your company? And so Kingdom Warriors, I'm going to tell you what I believe that, what Eric is doing, what the team is doing, this movie production, all of the components of Kingdom Warriors, I believe are being raised up, and God is endorsing Kingdom Warriors with his power, because I believe as a community, we're saying, God, whatever it takes to cross over and lay hold of all the promises to begin to advance the kingdom into the mountains of influence throughout this world, we are saying yes to it. We're saying, whatever the cost is, give us these giants. They're going to be our bread. Give us this land of promise. They are ours. And lay hold of all the somebody's preaching on there, I think. So, hey, I hope this makes sense. I feel in my heart the Lord is asking us again, whatever it takes. Now, let me just give you a quick encouragement that part of what I believe Kingdom Warriors is being raised up to do is to combat the spirit of Jezebel in the land, in our culture. So here's what is going on: is that we have this realm of entertainment, of visual storytelling and communication, discipling whole societies and cultures. We've got so much culture. We have the culture of the mind of darkness that's been discipling nations. And so we have to rise up like Elijah in this hour and say, we cannot tolerate Jezebel any longer. And so this is what God's doing, is he's raising up weapons of warfare to overthrow Jezebel. I believe that Kingdom Warriors is just such a thing. It's starting to challenge the narratives of Jezebel. It's starting to break down the witchcrafts and the sorcery of Jezebel. Now, if you get a picture of Jezebel, when Jehu was riding towards Jezebel, she painted her eyes, and to make herself appear attractive. And so I believe it was like witchcraft coming against Jehu to say, don't, it was like this to try to disarm Jehu's fury to throw her down. She was saying, I'm going to come and try to seduce this guy that's coming after me. Well, I believe in the same way, Jezebel, that spirit of seduction in this hour. And I'm not even just speaking about the sexual component of it. I'm speaking about the way that the Jezebel spirit is dulling or numbing our kingdom resolve to take territory for the glory of Jesus Christ, to advance, to bring glory to his name, to change and transform earth and the nations of the earth. And so we have to be violently, not violent in the natural, but with a violent spirit, we have to rise up and say, what we're doing is far more important than we even understand. We're part of a forerunner community crossing over into territory that we don't know what's next ahead, but we are putting our faith into what God's doing so that what has been the stronghold over our cities, our nation, the youth, the culture is going to be overthrown in Jesus' name. Anyway, I know I'm preaching and I'm shouting. I hope this makes sense.
Come on, you guys, put some fire in the comments, put some fire emojis, sword emojis, because it says, what is the verse about the kingdom of God will be, it's like violently something.
Oh, it suffers violence and the violent take it by force.
So talk about that real quick. And then what does that kind of mean as? We're like, I was an airborne soldier, but now God is like, it's like, I think I put a quote one time. I said, God had me get rid of my, something in my AR and traded in for a sword and a shofar.
Dude, come on, man. Because that's the real issue, is that, it's what happens in the spirit that affects the natural realm. So, the battles are really engaged spiritually, and what takes place in the spirit, the one that gets dominion in the spirit realm is the one that begins to release and manifest its will in the earth. So I believe what we're called to do all throughout scripture, you can see that God called his people to build altars. Altars were, they were meant to structure the heavens. That means that God wanted gateways all over regions and places where his people went that would begin to open up the kingdom into the earth. And so what he's doing right now is he's saying, I need a violent people to build altars. I want kingdom warriors to be an altar in the earth that opens up the gates for the King of Glory to enter in. And I'm going to do damage to the realm of darkness. Kingdom warriors, you're a gateway. I'm going to prophesy this. You are a gateway for the King of Glory to enter in. And he, by his power, is going to start to make war against what influences our culture. He's going to do it through just something as simple as, NFTs or a small, what we think is a small movie production. No. This thing is epic. This thing has power on it to change nations, to change a generation. And you start to, it's like, hey, this thing's a small seed. Watch how God breathes on a small seed, and that seed becomes a fruit-bearing tree that continues to become a forest. And so that's what faith does. Faith doesn't just look at a seed, it sees a forest. What's your measure of faith? Are you just seeing a seed, or are you seeing a tree, or do you see the forest that's on the other side that's coming forth? And that's going to be a part of the new era mindset. No longer are we allowed to just see the seed. We have to begin to say, this seed is not a seed, it's a forest. It's a forest. And Kingdom Warriors might feel like a seed, but it's not a seed. It is a whole forest, and it's going to expand and take territory and bring the dominion of his kingdom into the earth.
Wow, you guys. So yesterday, Andrew and I, we didn't talk and be like, hey, I think God's going to share all this stuff. I know that God speaks to Andrew and he delivers promptly. And so keep putting some more fire and sword emojis. But yesterday, I also spoke to Prophet Sean Bowles, that's there in LA as well. He said the same thing. He said, Eric, if you could see it in the spirit, what I'm seeing over the next 10 years, you guys stay the course of where you guys are going and the acceleration you guys are doing, this thing is going to be unrecognizable what God's going to do in this decade. And it's just like the same thing Andrew is saying, like, and Dr. Mark, like what the seed that has happened in the 10 months of people partnering, people coming together. If we stay the course, if we stay aligned, we just keep locking arms, keep locking our swords together. Like the forest is going to be just magnificent, epic. And people are going to look at that forest, want to hang out in that forest and say, it will just be such like high heavenly frequencies and vibrations. People are going to be able to experience the glory of God in these forests that the seeds are planting. So, man, so powerful. Okay, so I want to have Carrie, and then Dan share real quick, and then we wanted to talk about the invitation. Why we need more warriors. And why we need to lock arms. And we already are basically showing this, but we're going to show, the keys we have for you if you're ready, the swords we have for you if you're ready to grab the swords. So, Carrie, will you share a little bit about your story and the ecosystem, being in Kingdom Warriors, some of the, like in 2 minutes, kind of the journey that's kind of breakthrough you've gotten. Sorry, VIP is going to be knocking me down if we don't go. So we have to try to get it done a little bit quicker now.
All right, 2 minutes. My goodness. My journey, honestly, when I started with Kingdom Warriors, I would consider myself a wallflower and overlooked, someone that nobody really wanted to listen to or see or whatever. And something about the first challenge that I participated in, something broke, and I started speaking in a way that made me feel empowered. And I wanted to share just a little bit, and I'm trying to do this in 2 minutes, and confirmation, because Andrew also referenced Jehu. And when I asked God, what is something that you'd like me to share? And it was Jehu. So I was like, that is confirmation. God is so good. And so this is what I wanted to share, that about 20 years ago, God brought me to the passage of Jehu, and what stood out to me was the fact that Jehu had this inner circle of warrior soldiers. And when Jehu was first anointed by the student of Elijah to be king, when he stumbled out, he literally came out and he was dripping in oil, right? And Andrew also referenced to be king of whoa, I've got other music coming through or something. Okay, but anyways, I just wanted to say that Jehu, when he came out absolutely dripping in oil, his friends asked him, what did the prophet say to you? And he said, I'll read it because I opened it up here. They said, what did that madman want? Is everything all right? And he said, well, a man like that, he just babbles on. He just tried to play it cool. He didn't say anything. And his friends, his inner circle could have accepted that and just been like, okay, cool. Anyone want a hot dog? Like, just played it cool, accepted that answer. But they saw him and they said, no, that is absolutely not what happened. Tell us the truth. What happened? And they pressed for him to tell. And Jehu said, well, he told me he was king, or that I am king, sorry. He anointed me king. And his friends, in that moment, nobody got angry. Nobody started, why you and not me? Nobody started going, that's ridiculous. Well, he is a madman anyways. You're not really going to do it, are you? And, nobody did any of that. The second he said, he anointed me king, They said, Jehu is king, and they took off their cloaks and they bowed down. So they spoke the word of God back to him and empowered him. And it was from that empowerment from his friends that he was able to strategize and go and take out one of the biggest, darkest powerhouses of evil that this world has ever seen. And so Jehu, what this represents to me as a kingdom warrior is that I started to pray for an inner circle like that because I saw myself as the wallflower. I was always pushed aside. Carrie, you're too much. Carrie, we don't want to listen to you. Carrie, and so I took that place on the wall going, well, I guess this is my place because I'm too much. But that is a lie from the devil. And it was this Kingdom Warriors. This was the answer to that prayer when I was like, God, I want that inner circle. I want a circle that celebrates me and not tolerates me. I want a circle that I can celebrate them and it's accepted. And I'm not tolerating them. I can celebrate them freely. And I want an inner circle that will speak the word back to me when I say God spoke to me. I want an inner circle that will empower me to do what I was created and designed to do, not push me on the wall because I'm not good enough, or I'm making someone feel uncomfortable, or I'm making other people feel jealous, or whatever the excuse may be. And so Kingdom Warriors became that answer to prayer. They are an inner circle. They are an inner circle. This community is an inner circle that speaks the word back and pushed me to be who God created me to be. And I'm not there yet, but something broke in this community, and I'm actually using the mic that they gave me, and they became the community that's empowering me and encouraging me and celebrating me, and they're allowing me to celebrate them as well as fellow Kingdom Warriors. So that is my journey here, and it's just beginning. And I love all of you. I absolutely love encouraging you guys and seeing people grow. And even when they're like, I went on and for my life for the first time, that's awesome, because I want to encourage you, every single one of you, to take the action steps that God has already put in your heart, because those movements that Andrew and Benji had been talking about that are inside of it, it's time to bring them out, So, it's time to bring them out. It's time to take those action steps. And this is the perfect community to encourage you in that area.
Wow, you guys, come on. That was amazing. Give it up for Carrie. She is not a wallflower. She's a bold daughter, princess, warrior speaking. She has her microphone. She's an amazing building. And, man, people are going to hear her voice. Her movement is going to impact, I believe, millions of people, millions of people need to hear that message. And it's amazing. So the Kingdom Warriors is able to just really multiply. It's like a multiplication thing, what breakthrough anyone has in Kingdom Warriors, it's just given freely, what has been given to us. So we have a winner. Put in keys below, and someone put some key emojis. We're giving out the $222 NFT from yesterday. People who liked the broadcast, who were watching live. Roxy Scott, can someone tag her? And Roxy, email us at kingdomwarriorsnft@gmail.com. And also Aurelia or Shanae, if you can reach out and get her whitelist, get her MetaMask address. Congratulations, you won an NFT. We got Dr. Joseph. You already heard Michael, Benji. Let me see. So people on our team, who's on Kingdom Warriors team? Aurelio, Anna, Shanae, Jacqueline, Chopper on this challenge. So if you need anything, you can at one of them, ask for help. And we're here to support you. And that's what you're seeing in this ecosystem. There's people here to support you. I just want to give make sure everyone knows on the teams, update you guys. So shout out to Terry Core, amazing artist, and the Kingdom General. He's a top contributor. Salome, top contributor right now. And some of the most encouraging warriors right now. There's still time to keep going the next couple days, but we got BC Salgado, Rivka, and Maria. Thank you guys for encouraging people. That's people that are just going live, that are encouraging and loving on each other. You guys have no idea what it means when you post a video of yourself live speaking, sometimes for the first time, and you're sharing, your takeaways and breakthroughs and the limiting beliefs you're overcoming as a Kingdom Warrior, and people are encouraging you and loving on you. That was what gave me breakthrough. That's what gave Carrie breakthrough, and many of you guys are receiving breakthrough daily. So that's the power of Kingdom Warriors, and even being in a community where we can do life more together, because that we have a community that's just growing and growing, and we can keep serving and coaching and providing an ecosystem and spending our time to do amazing events like this. Spend all week, and my wife's like, "Hey, go do that." Like, this is, you guys, like, this is needed. People need to be awakened to their destiny and dreams, and so it's an honor that we get to do this. It really is. So awesome. So I want to have Dan share quickly, and then we're going to drop some keys for you guys. Put some keys, emojis in the comments if you guys are ready for some keys. Dan has come on as on our board of directors, and really just been an amazing strategic advisor and friend. Dan is in the Los Angeles place. He has even a group of investors. They've invested in different companies, and Dan has really partnered with us, and just being able to even give us some seed capital to grow, with NFTs, and being a 5-star general, and really just believing and betting on us, encouraging us, giving us advice on how to be more organized and structured, and how to think, about your objectives, and how to, hit your milestones, and make sure that we're delivering on the things that, we have on our roadmap, and really just a lot of amazing things that, as a young, I'm 31, as a visionary, I went to business school, learned business management, but this is the first, I've made millions of revenue for 2 companies. This is the first time we're about to hit $1 million in revenue for our own company. So shout out to all the Kingdom Warriors. We're finally able, the third time's the charm, to do it for our own company. So Dan, what has been your, favorite thing that you're excited about, and why you're, chose to be a part of this? You could be a part of any, you're part of John Maxwell, part of, big organizations, you could spend your time anywhere, but why do you support this community?
Thank you, Eric. Thank you again for the opportunity. I want to do a quick teaching. So if you have a piece of paper, this won't take more than 3 minutes. So the title would be "What God has Invested and Entrusted in You and Me." It's called a 3x3 decision-making prioritization. So it's a 3x3. It's easy to remember. So on the row side is SMH, not shaking my head, but a spirit-led wave, mindful decision, and heartful cause. Spirit-led wave, mindful decision, heartful cause. So, and then on the column, you're gonna have the who, the what, and the why. So I'm gonna explain really quick what they are. The SMH, as a spirit-led wave. What does that mean? Does what you're looking at, either a project or somebody or anything at all, does it have an eternity value? Does this directly and indirectly affect the soul of women and men with hope, faith, and love that we have in Christ? So that's a spirit-led wave. The second row would be mindful decision. These are the data. I've been involved with IT solution, product development, healthcare system, robotics, automation, military tech, to the latest 4 projects I'm involved with is global sustainability, neurofeedback, and some green initiative. But the 4th one is this Kingdom Warrior NFT. I don't keep track of my NFT from Kingdom Warrior, but I should have around 100 NFT from Kingdom Warrior. So, and it's been an honor to be a part of this group. So with that, back again, spirit-led wave, mindful decision means data. Data means this: does this make sense financially? Does it make sense timely? Is it in the right season? And the 4th one is heartful cause, the impact. Does this make a difference in our community, in our world? So the spirit-led, mindful decision, heartful cause. And then on the column, you have the who, the what, and the why, right? So the who is the leadership team. The what is the product, the offering itself. The why is, do people really care about me? So I apply this to the Kingdom Warrior, and many of my projects actually fail with this formula. But with Kingdom Warrior, I'm just going to pick a couple of things, right? Is it a spirit-led wave? Does it have eternity value? I think you guys can answer that. Andrew preached that, and Carrie shared that, and it's yes, absolutely. This is all about eternity value, right? And then does it have a mindful decision? Does the data, does financial, is this timely? Is this something that is that we need to be involved with? Is this a dying, or is it a growing technology? Obviously, it's a growing technology. And then I'm going to look at the why. I can't go 3x3, but the why, right? Does this I think we talk about the community. I mean, do people care about this? Yes. I don't know how many times have we been involved with a project, especially online, where the founder of the company is actually pinging you back on a Facebook Messenger. That doesn't happen. I've been involved with many one of those, right? So again, these stats is very applicable to Kingdom Warriors and applicable to any project. This is why I'm going to come back to what God has entrusted and invested in me and in you. So here's the thing. If we have something that God has invested and entrusted in you, but you don't share it with others, even to a point of setbacks, I believe we are sinning because of our own fear. You need to choose faith over fear. This is why I made the decision on April of this year to join the Kingdom Warrior. And I'm telling you, every single day when I need encouragement, and it's not just the heartful cause, but also the eternity cause, but also at the same time, the data itself. So make a decision. I did. It's pretty simple. And I'm still going to keep growing in it. So thank you for the opportunity, Eric.
Wow, come on. You guys give it up for Dan Gunati. That was just amazing. And you guys, Dan is brilliant and just amazing leader, brings amazing leadership gifting to this organization. And we're just thankful. You guys give it up for Dan. So you guys put some keys in the, if you guys are ready, I think I heard someone say, I've been trying to join Kingdom Warriors for a month. I didn't know how to do it. Someone said that, and they're like, I don't know. I keep trying to join, but I can't figure out how to join this community, join this community of warriors. I have my sword right here. Usually Andrew, Whalen, and I sometimes grab our sword. Andrew, do you have your sword in your house?
I got to find it. After we moved to our new spot, I can't, it's probably packed away. I got to go find it.
Awesome. Okay, drop your swords, you guys. So we're giving you an invitation to grab your swords. And so this is it's like, this is Mandalorian right here. This is like an invitation. So Stanley, I bought this comic. It says his universe, his legacy, his heroes is amazing. Like the amount of impact through these heroes. More of my children know about that than they know about Jesus, and they know about Jerusalem. And also I have this.
I think he got cut off.
Are we all still on? I think we are.
Yes, we're still on.
Okay. All right, Mark, tell us what to do, man.
Well,
I think it's your turn.
He was talking about, oh, there he is. Are you back? He's getting his sound together. This is my sword.
The pen is mightier than the sword, right?
Right. Well, there's so much has been said here today. Maybe we'll get a chance to talk about it during the VIP session if people haven't been a part of it. If Andrew, if Eric wants me to. There's just been so much here that fits into the realm of quantum mechanics. It's just I'm stunned at the things we're learning and achieving, and yet I guess I shouldn't be, because literally, there is a breadcrumb scripture that I like to talk about that you mentioned, or I think Eric mentioned earlier, and that is when Yeshua said, from the time of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven has suffered violence. Well, it was the time of John the Baptist. So what does that mean exactly? And I think a big part of what it's talking about is the violence that is suffered comes from the mouths of people. I've been toying with some ideas based on some work I'm doing with Dr. Darlene, and that is, maybe it's really true that the reason why we're supposed to love God with all our heart, soul, and mind, and love our neighbor as ourselves. A big part of that has to do with the things we say. For example, the love your neighbor as yourself, Yeshua was actually quoting Leviticus. And how do you love your neighbor as yourself? according to Leviticus, you don't say bad stuff about them. Well, why? I mean, as a quantum mechanic, I go, well, why does that even matter? Well, I can tell you one of the reasons why it matters. What if the entire world and everything we do is literally constructed, and it's ongoingly constructed, which is what quantum mechanics would suggest. We literally bring heaven to earth every day. And why would that be important, and how would it happen? Well, one of the ways it could happen is the words of our mouth. Well, if we're supposed to love God with all our heart, soul, and mind, my guess is we might say that out loud. You know, one of the great commandments, one of the great commands, excuse me, not commandments, that's given to in the Jewish scriptures, and I don't know how it plays out with Dr. Simmons' version, but Shema, it means to hear and do. And so if we hear and then we do, what are we? We are machines. We are something that takes a sound wave and turns it into something physical. We are quantum processors by design. But anyway, are you back yet, Mr.
Can
Eric?
you guys hear me?
All right. I'll shut up now.
my microphone. I mean, I'm thankful. That's what I'm thankful for. Amazing people. Like we got prophets and business people and quantum, doctors. Because whenever my microphone says, "Hey, we're not going to work," boom, we got just revelation on hand. That's what Kingdom Warriors. Like the community is so powerful. I don't know how many doctors we have, and all the doctors, they always go big. They're like, "I want to be a general. I want to be a 5-star general." They're like, "I want to be a surgeon." Kingdom Warriors surgeon here in the building. But you guys, I wanted to share this real quick. So this was something cool. I got this email today, so I want to share this, and I'm gonna keep our panel on because I any feedback or any questions, And this broadcast I want for new people who are coming from the Passion Translation community or Empower 2000 community who are Web 2 is like, what is an NFT? What is Web 3? Basically, it's just a digital piece of real estate. You can buy it and hold it and be a part of the community. It's just like getting your membership to, being a part of a club, whether it's Netflix or being a part of a golf membership or anything else. And just like you heard these testimonies, just being a part of, this club. And then the cool thing is the club actually can go up in value. Your membership pass, each one of those NFTs actually can go up in value. But there's a project called Doodles. I just got this email today. So while people are thinking, hey, there may be chaos and commotion in the industry, check this out. So this project Doodles, which you can see, this is some of their art right here, which it is actually pretty unique and cool. And they definitely can build, it went pretty viral, just this like rainbow, colored characters. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I do see how, there's some marketability of it. Anyways, they just received an evaluation. This is just a brand, an NFT brand, just like us. We're Kingdom Warriors NFT brand. We have Legends of Eladria film series. We have someone from Lord of the Rings connected to our project and other cool stuff. But this brand was valued at 704 million valuation. These funds just helped this NFT brand raise $54 million through Series A round valuation, a valuation of approximately 704 million. And so each of their NFTs are worth 8.25 ETH. So let me know, type if you guys find out, Ethereum is worth anywhere from 1,800 to 2,000. So basically at, say at 2,000, this is worth, each one of their NFTs are worth $16,000, anywhere from $14,000 to $16,000 for one of their NFTs. And you guys, like, I truly believe our community has something so unique, so special. We really haven't done press. We really haven't done marketing around outside to the global like NFT world. People on a global stage really haven't seen what we're doing and what is happening with what we're doing. And so but I just want to show you during a time when, stocks are down and stuff, that's, almost $1 billion brand of an NFT brand. And they were able to raise 55 million and that just happened. So I just want to show you some potential and even potential and good news.
for the future, even right now, when less funds and venture capital is coming into these NFT brands than there was recently. So let me share with you. Yeah, the global stage at the right time. God has been protecting us, from the global stage or from becoming this big thing. He's been keeping us at a very healthy, a very healthy, good pace that I've liked. Where we built with our community, we've kept creating more systems and structure and bringing on smarter people. And so we're like a 10-month-old, I think someone said we're a 10-month-old startup on rocket fuel. So we're a kid that definitely needs some rocket fuel. We're definitely growing like Elon Musk, but God is good, and in God we trust. But our company is Eternal Realities. What Dan was talking about earlier is when you get into the NFT world, one of the things you want to look at is who are the founders? Are they doxed? Are they showing you who they are? Like for me, you can go look at my LinkedIn, Eric Skeldon on LinkedIn. You can see the different stuff, track record I had in the business world. And that's something that is really important. When I started, I invested like $20,000 in NFTs, and I got scammed from a different one. Some of them ended up being good. I did make some good flips on NFTs and stuff, but the projects I invested in that did well, they had good founders, they had a good, plan, and then they were able to execute. So, we were talking about just being childlike, and, one of the coolest things that George Lucas and Star Wars was able to make, we are building, the big vision is we are building a Kingdom Disney, a Kingdom Marvel, a Kingdom Star Wars style franchise. And just like, this old thing that started out with, Marvel and, they all had this big partnership, the greatest fantasy film of all time. And look, Stan Lee was even a part of it. Stan Lee presents the Marvel special edition of Star Wars. So historic. And, this is something that we're giving you an opportunity and giving people, which 500 people have already jumped on board. We've sold out of 222 collection, 300 NFTs, which was like 300 Gideon. Then we went to 2,222, and now we're finishing an 8,888 collection. So we have a link in the description, kingdomwarriorsnft.io/adventure, where we're inviting you to join the fight with us. But basically, the question is, if George Lucas or Stan Lee offered you to be a part of Star Wars or Marvel with a Web3 asset, so you have ownership over assets, though as the brand grows, as the series grow, the books, the films, the merchandise, all the stuff grow, the NFTs are going to grow as well. A rising tide lifts all boats. And so we're going to be sending this white paper to all of you guys that has our mission statement, that has our roadmap, that has our team. We're all doxed. We're not hiding our names. We're not so if I fail in this business, it's going to be publicly failed. Like, hey, Eric publicly failed with Kingdom Warriors, and I'm okay with that because I'm giving everything I can to make sure the millions of dollars I've done in other companies I wasn't even passionate about. Imagine what we can do with something I am passionate about, and I can actually know that we can actually impact souls. We can impact generations, that children's children will receive an inheritance and receive impact through the stories and the art. And if my daughters ever want to act in the future, if we have a studio in a company, either technology studio building games, they'll be able to work in the gaming department. They'll be able to work in the media department, in acting, whatever classes they want to take. Their dreams that they love, they're going to be able to be a part of that. And so that's something that's just so powerful. So what is our mission? Our mission is to empower kingdom dreamers and creatives to take back the arts entertainment mountain by creating epic stories that inspire, encourage, and unite. Here was kind of where we started back in $50,000, now to almost $1 million in 10 months. And so, that's like to show the multiplication, like Jesus talked about the talents. Give someone 1 talent, turn it to 2. Give someone 5, turn it to 10. We've been able to turn 50,000 into almost $1 million. So that just shows that that's almost like a 20x return on $50,000, and that's only in 10 months. Imagine what we can do in 10 years, let alone 3 years. And so we've already sold out of 2,222. We sold out of the 300 Gideon, went to Isaiah 22:22, the keys of David, what God opens up, the doors that God opens up, no man can shut down. And now we are on track, over 5,000 NFTs sold. There's over 3,000 left that you guys have an opportunity to be a part of. And everything from the music department, we have Michael Morgan above the music department, Hamid and Dr. Mark on the film department. We have let's see, the game department. The funding that we're getting right now is really going to help for the game and the token launch department, and to really let us do bigger stuff on that. So here's our team. We got Eric, we got Andrew, Vera, Nicholas, Jessica, we got Bobby Vickery, Taz, Almontos, Aurelio as well. So we actually got Shanae. We have some people that aren't on here as well, but Michael Morgan, we got Dan, Manny, Dr. Mark, and Sean. And so, I mean, everything, we're going to email this out to you guys over the next few days. But basically, everything from the music to the film industry to basically being like our own studio, our own Web3 entertainment company. Our goal is to be a Web3 entertainment company that through gaming, that through storytelling, through the music, we're going to be able to tell stories. We're going to be able to impact culture and become an epic entertainment company. And you guys have assets that are connected to that is the big idea. And then we have a token that each NFT actually earns some, this token right here, Everlight token. There's 100 billion of them. And these generation that you're going to have right now are going to earn 100 per day. So if you have 100 tokens, you earn 100 times 100 per day. So each NFT earns 100 per day. And those will be at first good as a utility token. So type in utility in the comments. So the utility token and this Everlight is like Yahweh. It's like it's like our, like Lord of the Rings has, Sauron, and they have, Middle Earth and all their different stuff. We've just been able to, God has given us such an amazing world, and I mean, just economy and just so much vision for the future. And so even talking about utility, we've been able to partner with the largest Christian library that has courses, videos, training. So the Kingdom Warriors can get, not just own these assets, have a community where you're getting empowered. We're bringing expert speakers, expert trainers. We're bringing just amazing innovation and ideas. So you could be in those rooms to grow, but you can also get trained up on identity, on, how to have a mindset to be successful, how to have, that Proverbs mindset that shows you that you can do all things that are possible. You can follow wisdom, and you can have all the wisdom from heaven to partner with heaven to do the things God has for you. So we're giving you all the training. We just made that partnership that is just so epic. We're thankful for. We actually own now 3 worlds, and we actually bought an e-commerce brand, Kingdom Dominion, to give 25% off for our holders and to have merchandise. We also acquired 3 worlds. These worlds were like $30,000 a piece times 3. They were like $90,000 worth of value before the crypto crash. And we bought 3 worlds at a super big discount. And here are some of the developments. We have a team of 5 we have commissioned to go and start building these worlds. And here is some of the developments on the world. You see, we're branded in the Megaverse. We got our amazing like castle. We got a light in like the city tower that's shooting to the sky at night. People that are on the Minecraft server are going to be able to come to our Megaverse. We're able to host thousands of people in here. So it's just going to be super, super epic. With that, let us know what you guys think of some of this in the comments. I would love to hear you guys' feedback. Here's some of the gates. We have the watchers on the wall, what Andrew and then we're talking about, taking the promised land, possessing the promised land. We have the gates that they're already building. We have a Zeppelin, a big balloon in the sky. We got kind of our kingdom and our city over there. But you're going to have watchers on the wall. You got this epic showing some of the fountain and some of the light. But kind of what Andrew Whalen was even talking about just a minute ago was about being able to build gateways and regions of light. And so when you guys see that, Andrew and stuff, do you guys see some of the regions of stuff that we're dreaming? And already we have a team of 5, one of our musicians and their worship team out of Ohio, we're able to commission and pay a youth group to start building this world for us. Isn't that crazy? All within our own holders community.
Bro, that's epic, man. That is amazing. I love it.
And that you guys, this is what's so crazy. So on Monday, we do a gratitude call with our staff on Monday. The Megaverse, God told me in a dream before last challenge to buy some land because we're doing possessing the promised land. So I was like, I need to own land. Like I need to own some land. And I felt God woke me up in the middle of the night during that challenge to buy 3 plots of land in the Megaverse. and then I bought it, and then amen. Come on, someone said, yeah, Minecraft started as a Christian concept. So cool, you got to bring it back to His glory. So yeah, we have this NFT worlds that is actually bringing crypto to these worlds to where you can actually get paid to be in these worlds and get earn worlds token and stuff. So they're actually making it to where you could build a play to earn game by being in these worlds as well. But anyways, we were on a gratitude call and we were just praying, talking about what God did with the land. And then next thing you know, Hunter's like, yeah, dude, like because Hunter led our esports division. They were competing and doing tournaments for us with some youth. And he leads the youth. They do these mission trips and have gotten tons of people saved on these mission trips. They have a like super strong youth, and he's a youth pastor and one of our artists with our music department. And anyways, we're on a gratitude call talking about it. And he's like, dude, I got a team of 4 people I can get right now. We can start building this thing like within a month. And I was just like thinking about like Nehemiah, you know, within like not even trying. We were just coming to a gratitude call saying, hey, God, thank you for the film. Thank you for the community. Thank you for the challenge. And they're like, hey, thank you for the land you just gave us. And then boom, he's like, boom, we could build it within the ecosystem, within our people. Same thing with Dr. Mark in the film. We were like, hey, you know, I wonder what would it take to do a film? You know, we've been talking to Dr. Mark, what would it take to do a film? And then just all of a sudden we're like, boom, we got the resources. Here's the plan. We're going to do a film. How quick did that happen, Dr. Mark? And like Hamid said that a lot of his projects took 10, 15 years to start getting these projects out there.
Right. Well, that's why I kept saying it's stunning that we're here. We literally have a 4-part miniseries in the can. I think there's like 1 day of pickup shots, and then the editors have already begun. I mean, literally, I don't know, could be done in the next, maybe it'll be done before the end of the year. I don't know. It's the speed it's going. To me, I think one of the things I wanted to, as I was listening to what you were saying, which, by the way, great white paper. But one of the things that I think if you're a newcomer to this whole thing in NFTs and you're coming from the outside, one of the things that is a challenge for a new person about NFTs is understanding why is something digital valuable? Because, well, I can copy that. Well, yeah, you can copy it, but you can't copy the blockchain address. And so literally, because of technology, there's a unique identifier, which is the key. There's a unique identifier to the original work. And just like people would pay lots of money for the original of the Mona Lisa, you would pay lots of money for an original of a particular NFT. And with regard to, you know, people might say, well, I wasn't there at the beginning. This is so big, just from what we just went through, and just went through creating this 4-part series. And there's some of the conversations, without going into too much detail, just the conversations Hamid and I have had, just as it relates to this particular group of ideas around the legends of Alavia. It's so big. Well, that's just that. That's not, you know, additional artwork people might create. That's not additional businesses people might create. That's not additional writings people might create. I mean, this is like if a person, and you know me, Eric, I try not to talk a lot about investment because I want to be on the one side of the fence where, you know, I can just say, you know, this is really good, right? But this is starting to get to be to the place where it's like, I don't know how it could it be bad? I suppose. I just don't know how that would happen, but just the value, even if all you had was what's in the can already, the value of that is huge. And so I'm sitting here thinking, what an amazing opportunity for people, an average person who wants to do something. They just want to do something. If they don't, you know, and I get it, for some folks, well, for many of us, $222 can be a lot of money. You got 4 friends. You got a few friends, you know, you've been wanting to do something and be a part of something bigger. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying God has told me to tell whoever hears these words coming out of my mouth, you should go buy a Kingdom Warriors NFT. But I will say this, if you're hearing the words coming out of my mouth, you better believe you should be praying about it. Because there is a time and a season, and right now, the world is up for grabs. I say we grab it. I say it's our turn.
Wow.
Been waiting for this.
So someone is saying, so the link, team, if you can put the link in the comments. I think I pinned the link as well. I think I pinned the link. It's the Join the Adventure page. It's in the description now. And let me go up. So it should look like this. So it's kingdomwarriorsnft.io/adventure. You don't need to learn to game. You don't have to game. You don't have to do anything.
Right.
It literally just like buying, if you're buying something and you're just holding it, any type of thing that you buy and hold, you can do that with this. Just buy and hold it. And we have some special bonuses that, the link should be in the description and also be pinned. Also, team, if you could put it in the comments below, this link that's in the description. But yeah, it's time to make impact. We got a special bonuses for the Passion Translation community, our Kingdom Warriors community, anyone else, for Kingdom ambassadors to tell your friends, family. We are doing a big reveal on October 15th. So from this challenge until September 21st. So I think it's next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, we have an amazing offer in for you guys. So like I said, there's like a little bit over 3,000 left. We've already sold over 5,000. I mean, you guys, 5,000. Put in 5,000 in the comments below. We've already sold over 5,000. That's just like blows my mind. I'm just like so in awe of God. I mean, he's just amazing. We've been able to partner with the largest Christian library to give you the courses and training for everything. We have tons of training for you guys as well, education, resources, community. You're also getting, with this one, you're actually getting merchandise. If you buy the captain or more, you're actually getting some merch for free, a part of your NFT package. We've never done that before. So for new people or existing holders, this is some huge incentives, even film incentives. We got signed posters. Dr. Mark and Hamid got signed posters that we sent, like I think 100. There's over 100 of them, but basically there's only 100 that we're gonna do, and so I think there's only like maybe 50 of those left. So definitely take action on the captain and above package to get that. Kingdom Warriors has now acquired Kingdom Dominion, so you get 25% of all merch, and then if you buy the Kingdom Captain package and more, I will show you. So I mean, you can learn more about our story, the lore, see a little bit about the UI of the game we're kind of thinking about and dreaming about as we receive more funds. Like he said, the $300,000 film project that was really like $1 million value film project, because of where we shot it and the deals that we were able to do with Hamid and Dr. Mark, was really like $1 million basically thing that Kingdom Warriors now owns, this Legends of Eladria series that is just going to blow up. And then once we release press on the people that are a part of that, I mean, this is going to be huge, you guys. And so you can see the utility. So the utility in the NFT world, it's called utility. In the online world, it's called value. Like, what is the value you're getting for buying something? So this is the value or utility of each NFT. So each Gen 3 NFT, you could buy one for 222, 3 for 657, and for from now till September, basically in 7 days, you can buy 10 NFTs and get 20. So for 1997, you can get 20 NFTs, 4444, over $4,000 worth of value right now. So that is why it is good if you're already a holder. Getting these last 3,000 plus NFTs, be a part of that. Some of the cool things that we're adding for the captain, we're going to be sending out your address to collect your address, to collect your t-shirt size. If you're a captain, you're also going to get all the perks of just owning an NFT. Michael has a new music NFT that he's actually going to be sending you. And then also, if you're a captain, I think, what is it? So if you're a captain, you're going to get an Eladria poster, which is there's only going to be, I think, 100 of them. So there's 100 Eladria movie posters, and then there's 100 signed physical movie posters. Plus, you'll get the if you get this package, plus you can get the movie NFT poster. Or I believe, or no, I think if you have this one, I think you're only going to get the if you're a general, you'll get the signed one. But you'll also we also have this new music NFT that Michael produced, our artist from Los Angeles. Amazing music NFT. And I think there's only going to be, I forget how many of those quantity there's going to be, but there's also all these courses that we have for you. There's also this package available. This is, like Dr. Mark, Dan, you're going to be in a small group of people, investors and really savvy people that we're going to be start meeting more. We're going to even bring some mastermind and coaching to that. And there's going to be just epic club for that one. And then you're going to get this a legendary sword by our Sony designer. I think you can see it down here, this moving sword. There's only going to be 55 of them. I think there's like 25 taken, so there's only a little bit over 20 left of these swords that we're going to be delivered to the 5-star generals. And then you guys already, just for one NFT, you're already getting $1,000 premium access to Raise and Royalty platform. And then this is helping us get this movie more out there, help us with the game, help us with the rest of the roadmap. There's also these free courses that we're giving to you guys from Michael, and from going from Disney to decentralized entertainment. You're going to have Vera, who helps us as our COO with operations and all the VAs and different people that we're having to manage, showing some of the systems and automation that lets us scale to a multi-million-dollar company. We're going to do a writing workshop with Jessica, talking about writing. Maybe even Hamid will even do a training with us about writing as well, script writing. We're going to learn about Kingdom day trading with Brian King. You also will get you can get a free marketing call as a holder with Timothy, and one of the highest rating marketing agencies. You also will get a free bonus. This is only challenge only bonuses through this link, kingdomwarriorsnft.io adventure. Click the link in the bio. Bonus, God's government and banking. They've I think raised $2 million to do like crypto bot banking, and just seeing some cool stuff you could do. You also get 6 months free access for your children or even the parents to Fetch the Goodness, and it's like this puppet and like creative kingdom puppet and like amazing platform that they have for that they've offered to us. You can see right here, so these will be on OpenSea. So once you have the 10 NFTs, 25, you can actually list them for sale. We do encourage you guys to let some of the film stuff come out, let some of the press come out, let some of the real stuff come out. Let us, over the next 6 months to 1 year before you start selling some of them, just because but yeah, it is, you can, and people have, we have dozens and dozens of sales where people bought at $200 and they sold at $700, sold at $400, sold $500, sold, the biggest sale we had was, I think, $1,500, $1,500 for an NFT, and one of our Kingdom keys, which there's only 25 of them, that sold for $3,000, and they bought it for, I think, like $500. So we literally have over hundreds of testimonials. Also, 10% of the profit we are giving to Press's Kids Foundation. You can see some of the fruit on this video of some of the stewardship that they've been able to do. And man, like the mangoes that they grow out there, the love. We're actually buying some land with them where we're going to build an education center in Uganda. And we're gonna have like Kingdom Warriors logo, just like you saw in the Megaverse. We're gonna have a Kingdom Warriors logo in there in Uganda, and buying up some land with about $10,000. So we're excited about that. And so as this is going, as you guys are supporting, you guys are gonna help us really take territory even in Africa. Not to mention, these NFTs in the future are gonna be able to help people in Africa have education in Africa, the Philippines, other nations, learn skills that are gonna be able to pay the bills. So we don't just feed a fish for a day or give a man a fish and feed them for a day. We're able to give someone a whole infrastructure and a whole network to be able to earn money. Tons of other stuff on there. We're going to be sending out an email, the white paper, so you guys will see more about that. But God is super good. So amazing bonuses, amazing call to action. Join the fight, you guys. 60 seconds, final gems before we go to VIP from Dan, Andrew, and Dr. Mark. Go ahead, Dan.
This is a no-brainer. Just do it. And if I need to do it again, I'll do it again. And I have. So that's it.
Man, Dan the man. Andrew?
Yeah, I agree with Dan. I guess the thing I would say to encourage people is you have to reconcile in yourself that we are truly in a crossover season, and we have to think differently, act differently, and we have to move forward with faith. And I believe, this may be new territory for some of you, but you're surrounded by a community of people who are trying to walk in step with the Lord. So I just encourage you, we're walking this out together. You're not alone. Come join this community as we take territory. I believe it's a great investment.
Yeah, let me say one thing. When the markets go down, when there are problems in the quote unquote economic community, money tries to find a home. And so when there is a good project, it attracts money. And one of the things this project continues to build, and as it continues to build, the money that's out there looking for a home is going to be attracted, I believe, and Dan can probably speak to this better than I, but it's going to be attracted to what's successful. This is generating success. I can tell you, I can't speak to all the other things. I don't know the music industry, but I can tell you when it comes to the movie industry in this business, this is generating success. What just happened? Hold on to your seats. This is going to be huge. So if you ever thought about doing something like this, or you just want to be a part of something like this, you pray, and get some people to pray with you if you feel like you can't, because what I've just watched just while this was happening, and I haven't talked about this, but while this was happening, some other things that have been happening in the financial realm that I've watched from people I know, it's just going nuts. So I don't know what the world's experiencing. I'm glad I'm not a part of it.
Wow. Yeah, you guys, we have a different economy, a different system. And, if anyone has any questions, I think someone was asking like, hey, if I don't, we have a lot of people that are over 50 that don't play video games. Dan, have you ever had to play video games to be a part of this community? Dr. Mark, did you have to be a gamer or anything?
I hope not.
No.
So you don't have to be a gamer. You don't have to. Do you have to spend all your time, like doing activities in here and stuff?
No.
So whenever you want to, you can join in. Just like a gym membership, you can join in, check in. We have a Zoom call once a week. You actually get a private Zoom call once a week for all holders, whether you're 1 or 10 and then every week we check in and report with our staff with what's happening, what we're building, what we're up to, and we all come together and even hear good news reports from the community, what's happening in their lives, what are some breakthroughs they're getting, and then we also let the prophetic flow in that as well. So you can come to those Zoom calls whenever you want. You can check us out on Twitter, on the website, and just always in the Facebook group. If you're not big in Facebook, you can just like I said, join us once a week on Zoom. You can always look on OpenSea at your assets and see that they're there. So you don't have to be a big gamer. You don't have to be a big Star Wars nerd like me, or love Lord of the Rings. It's cool because if you see the potential in Star Wars and Lord of the Rings, billion-dollar brands, and you see the people that have helped Star Wars VR games are helping us, or people that are that were in Lord of the Rings are now attaching to the movie side. You can see the potential, but you don't have to be a big nerd like myself.
Yeah, Eric, one thing real quick. You mentioned people over 50. So 50 is significantly in the rearview mirror for me. And there's when I tried to do the NFT thing, and I stumbled through, I don't know how many times I spoke with Vera about, well, how do I see OpenSea? So all I can tell you is it doesn't matter, right? I just used what I knew I had, which is I traded some fiat currency for something that I'm going to suggest probably has more value than fiat currency, because it has a unique identifier. None of the fiat currency I had, well, wait a minute, is that true? I guess they had serial numbers, but the very definitely some unique identifiers, and I keep pointing to that for people my age understand unique identifiers. You don't have to be some kind of a whiz kid to own an NFT. Just think of it like, hey, I got a piece of the Mona Lisa. Yep.
That's good. You guys type in unicorn in the comments. Unicorn. I'm just declaring that you guys being together, the people that are a part of this project, that Kingdom Warriors, Eternal Realities, this organization is a unicorn. It's something special. And look up the unicorn in the tech world and in the business world. Look up what that means. But type that in the comments. And God wants that. I think someone said it the other day, is God wants us to understand that He has a 5-star assignment on your life. And if you guys are attached to a unicorn, you're attached to something that is just translates time and space, and it's literally just like amazing, a kingdom unicorn, and you guys are connected to that. There's something like there's osmosis, there's a transfer. I was connected to when I got when I was wanting to leave the corporate world, I started investing in coaching, learning how to do public speaking, learning how to do online coaching, learning how to do self-development, and like how to help myself, but then help other people. As I was getting mentorship, I was pouring that mentorship back into people. And so when you guys are the great wealth transfer, I believe is going to come through partnerships. It's going to come through collaborations. It's going to come through unity. It's going to come through you being aligned. When you're aligned and your wallet and your life is aligned to things, when Dan is connected to a company, and then that company grows or his investment grows because you're connected. If he wasn't invested, it wasn't connected, they don't just maybe God will say, sometimes maybe God will tell them, hey, here's Dan's address. He wasn't connected to that, but just send him your check because you randomly got his address in your head. Maybe that happens sometimes. And I've heard of people getting mailbox money from stuff, but I truly believe it. And this is just the practical prophetic wisdom. I believe that practically you're gonna get a great wealth transfer when you're aligned to stuff. I get an airdrop even when I was invested in different crypto projects when crypto was booming. I was getting these airdrops like $4,000, $2,000, and they were because I bought early. And then these projects blew up, and they just airdropped me a token, airdropped me these tokens, and I was getting thousands of dollars in crypto, and I was cashing them out to my bank, and I was like, this is crazy. But they're only sending me that because they're like, thank you for betting on us before we blew up. Thank you for, so you're going to receive a great wealth transfer if you're connected to the Netflix, to the Disneys, to the Teslas before they blow up. So that's just, practical economics. I do believe God, He cares for us, and He also will bless us. But I do believe, though, as far as the great wealth transfer is concerned, I believe it's going to come through alignment and through what we're actually partnering with. Oh yeah, and then also just for people, a mindset real quick, for people who are like, man, that this seems great. I wish I had the resources or funds. I want to, even, give you a little training on reframing. Dr. Mark probably knows about this, reframing your mindset and your perspective to not, I can't do that. But if you ever think you can't do something, to say, how can I? How can I? Do I need to call an uncle or an aunt, or do I have we had, let me tell you a story. We had a girl who was from New Zealand who contacted 3 of her aunts and uncles. They put in like $2,000 and they bought a Kingdom General package, and they just split it. And they gave her, a third of it because she just orchestrated it. She just connected the people and that had the funds and said, hey, you need to see this project. And they were like, yeah, that's a no brainer. Let's do that. So that was a how can I mentality. She didn't personally have it in her bank account at the time. And then New Zealand to the US dollar was probably, harder to translate, but she was able to connect the dots. So how can I, if you want something in life, when I've had to go after stuff, sometimes I had to figure out a way to make something happen. Let's see, accessing VIP without email. Yeah, can someone help Suzanne get the VIP link? If you don't, wait, without email. Yeah, I guess Suzanne, if you need the VIP link and you purchase, just DM Aurelia or Sinead, DM her, and just make sure if you check your email if you bought it, and we'll get you hooked up. But yeah, so just how can I? It's just reframing your perspective to how can I do something. If you want a better life, if you want a better outlook on life, just start saying, how can I? What do I need to do to become this? What do I how do I become a better father? How do I become a better, steward of wealth? How do I build wealth? and then interview people, talk to people who have done it and say, hey, how did you build your wealth? How did you make your first $1 million? How did you're such a great dad. How did you do that? And when you start asking when I started asking how can I and what questions to people, why is kind of more accusatory. Don't say, hey, why do you do this? Or why are you like this? Asking questions like how and what really just transformed me, and interviewing, tons of people that were kingdom people who have done amazing stuff. Someone I think put something for a unicorn, but yep, kingdom unicorn. We're going to VIP. Bless you guys, and how can you guys have a 5-star royal assignment on your life? Blessings, everyone. And then tomorrow we have Dr. Joseph Peck, Dr. Brian Simmons Friday, 1 Central. Let us leave some love in the comments. Invite some friends. KingdomNFTs.com. This is going to be one of the most amazing communities of prophetic, talking about innovation, talking about arts and entertainment. Be a part of it. Invite your friends and family and friends who want to make impact in this realm, and bring them on for tomorrow. See you guys.